Nation, what's up? You're watching a brand new episode of the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram and Facebook Live. We got a jam-packed show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah and all the things that they revealed to us, bombshell after bombshell that they revealed during their interview. We're also going to be talking about this dummy of a pastor who decided that it'd be okay to rip off on women and how they're supposed to just be objects for men to be desired. And so we're going to talk about that, and then we're also going to give you an update of what's been going on with us in terms of the COVID vaccines and the hopefulness that we have for the future. So again, we got a jam-packed show for you tonight. I actually need to go get my tablet. I've got all my materials, but it's on the corner of my bed. You'll see it. It's like in that little corner over there. And so again, we got a jam-packed show for y'all tonight, and we're hoping that we'll be able to have a great time with you guys tonight as we're jamming with y'all. Well, you said the video keeps freezing. Okay, we're going to do the best we can with the technology that we got. If you're having issues with it here, try to find us on Facebook, but also remember that this video will be packaged later for you guys to view later. And also, you can always find us on Spotify. We've now made it to Spotify. And so this podcast and all of our past and future podcasts will be available on Spotify so that you can listen in later to hear everything that we're saying on tonight in case we have technical difficulties going on across these different platforms. But again, we got a jam-packed show for you tonight, and we're going to get started right away with the first story of the night. We're going to be talking about Meghan and Harry and their interview with Oprah. The interview was just eye-opening. It was revelatory in so many different ways. I'm going to see what story I pulled up about it, just to kind of give us a little bit of backstory. If it'll let me.
Was the internet acting up?
Well, no. It's the first time I've turned it on today, so sometimes it acts slow that first time around. How are you doing tonight?
I am here.
Y'all pray for my laugh.
If you hear me coughing, it's not COVID, I promise. It's sinuses, it's all that above. And still trying to get over it.
She's been tested, guys, so yeah, she's fine. All right. Prince Charles stays silent on Harry and Meghan in his first appearance since the bombshell broadcast. Prince Charles has appeared publicly for the first time since Harry and Meghan's seismic interview with Oprah Winfrey. Buckingham Palace is under mounting pressure to respond to a series of damning accusations from the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in their first sit-down since stepping back from the monarchy and moving to the U.S. last year. Some of the claims, including allegations of racism and Meghan's admission that she felt suicidal during her first pregnancy, had the potential to deeply impact the royal family's reputation and have left a cloud of suspicion over some of its members. Yet the interview, first broadcast in the U.S. on Sunday, is still being met with a wall of silence from the palace as Charles carried out his public duties as scheduled on Tuesday. One of the biggest bombshells in the interview came from the Duchess, who revealed an unnamed member of the family had approached Harry to discuss the color of the couple's unborn baby. Winfrey said Monday that the Duke later clarified that neither of his grandparents, Queen Elizabeth or Prince Philip, had been part of those conversations. In the 2-hour blockbuster screened in the UK on Monday night, the couple touched upon a string of issues including racism, mental health, royal family dynamics, and lack of institutional support. The couple cited a lack of support over invasive press coverage and the royal institution's decision to deny their son Archie a title, and with it his eligibility for protection, as the basis for their decision to relocate from the UK. Harry, meanwhile, said his father stopped taking his calls shortly after the couple announced that they were stepping back from the royal family last January. He added that he felt, quote, really let down because he's been through something similar. He knows what pain is like. However, the Duke added that despite the hurt, repairing the relationship in time will be, quote, one of my priorities. Fighting back tears at one point, Meghan said her thoughts of suicide were incredibly difficult to bear, and she was hesitant to share them with her husband. Quote, but I knew that if I didn't say it, that I would do it. And I just didn't want to be alive anymore, she said. Harry, whose mother Diana was killed when he was a boy, said he was, quote, terrified by his mother's admission. And so we got a lot to unload as it regards to that conversation. And so I actually took some notes on some of the things that they said. I'm going to let you go first.
You did. You go first. You
going to let me go first? Okay. So one of the things, so I took several notes of things that they said. And that's some of the stuff that I wanted to focus on today. So one of the things, so I'm just going to read off everything that they said, and then we're just going to pick them apart one at a time. Meghan had said that you're judged on the perception, but living in the reality. She talked about the avocado situation being a loaded piece of toast. She was concerned about not receiving protection. Talking about changing the rules for Archie, the son, being asked if she was okay. The narrative between Kate and Meghan was one thing, but they spun it to be something completely different. She said she was ashamed to admit that she didn't want to be alive anymore. They both felt trapped and imprisoned. Said you have no idea what's going on the inside, and we needed help. So the first thing that Meghan had said that really caught my attention was that you're judged on the perception, but living in the reality. And she was making the point that we really didn't understand what they were going through as is anyone in the royal family, that we don't know what they're going through. That the tabloids and the newspaper articles spun things one way, but we never really knew what was going on the inside. And so we would never understand what went down. We'll never know what happened during the day-to-day outside of anyone ever telling us what happened. And she said that one of the things that she was bothered by the most was the fact that, you know, they constantly wanted them to tell the truth about what was going on the inside, but they never would. You know, they would deny allegations and lie, you know, about certain things to protect folk, but they wouldn't tell the truth to protect folk. And we as people were judging them based on what the tabloids were giving us, not understanding what they were truly living through. And in doing so, it made it extremely difficult on her to keep putting on airs, because she wasn't used to living that type of life where she had to put up a front in front of people in order to keep the perception alive.
You know, it's almost like, I feel like that goes on even not in a royal family. I guess that's just a different, I don't know, because that happens in real life, you know? Like if you're not in this particular family or associated with this particular family or group, then if you're an outsider and you come in, it's like you're gonna get put through the ringer. Like I doubt they would have treated another royal like that if he was dating another royal, you know. And so this interview was, to me, was like really sad. Like it kind of hurt a little bit. And probably because of everything that's going on with race and all that too. Because you have so many people who feel like her in the world and who actually go through with what she felt. You know, you have people who don't ask for help, but you know, can get it. But then you have someone who's asking for help and you don't want to give it.
Close the door, Allison.
Huh?
Close the door.
Oh, sorry. Thanks.
I just really felt for her in this moment because, like, to have someone, it's almost like saying, and I'm not saying this is what happened. It's almost like saying, you know, I'm going somewhere and, you know, the protection that I have with me, you know, is just like there. But then when something happens, they just let it happen. But it's worse because you're taking it away because of my race. And the thing is, and I'm not knocking this or whatever, but can you imagine how she would be treated if she was fully black? She's not even fully black. You know? She's just got some black in her. And so I can only imagine how you would treat, you know, anybody else.
Shanae. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I'm just trying to figure out why is it that they couldn't, or why wouldn't they speak up, you know?
And they wouldn't say it definitively, but a lot of it has to do with race. A lot of it has to do with how people are perceived in Britain. We think that racism is bad here in America, and indeed it is terrible here. And we'll talk about that in greater detail next week. But it's bad everywhere. It's bad everywhere. I remember stories about black French citizens, you know, being ostracized and, you know, being, you know, beat down, you know, for being black. And so it's no different there than it is, you know, than it is here. They go through some of the same things that we go through. And so it's no surprise that the tabloids, in an attempt to sell papers and to stir up racial tensions in Britain, did the same thing. She didn't deserve any of that. It's when she, in truth moment, when she first became, you know, started dating Prince Harry, like, that was the first time I even knew she was even remotely black.
Okay.
I've seen her in Suits, the TV show that she was a part of for a while, and I not once ever thought or suspected she had any black in her. Like,
it's amazing how they could tell that she wasn't fully white though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. They knew, but see, the thing is, they weren't the only ones who knew. Like a good chunk of the world knew, especially celebrities. They knew, and the fact that if you studied her more closely, you realize that she's actually been speaking out and speaking up about race relations for the longest time, even before she became, you know, married, before she got married to Harry, or was even in a relationship with Harry. She had been speaking up about those issues for a while. I like I say, I was just naive. I didn't know who she was outside of this TV star that she was. And again, I wouldn't have ever known she was black at all until this happened, where people are all like, "Oh, we got a black one in the castle." Wait, we do? Like, for real? And so I had to wake up and I had to realize, oh snap, she actually half black, and she's like half black. And so I can only imagine that in a space like Britain, in a space like that type of royalty, that of course race relations would be an issue. Even Harry himself said that he was ignorant of the racial issues that were going on and ignorant of his own racial biases before he got with her. But once he got with her, you know, he realized he was trapped, but he saw it as an opportunity for the royal family. Not just, he wasn't trying to be opportunistic, but he thought that it's possible that through their union, it could begin to be an engagement process between, you know, whites and blacks in Britain through them. But instead, they turned it all the way around, especially through Meghan and Kate Middleton, who is Prince William's wife, and turned it into this tit for tat. You know, I'm the villain. I'm hated. Da 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 da. And again, for so many people that were in that family who were trying to tell them, hey, that's not how it happened. Please let us talk about it. You know, it didn't happen that way. And the institution or the firm saying, no, we're not, no, you can't. No, we're not going to let you. No, we can't. No, we got to keep it going. No, you can't change the narrative. Da 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 da. It's very disturbing and very frightening because, again, people, they don't care about the truth. Mm-hmm. It's all about perception. And they even said it themselves, they're so afraid the institution or the firm, I don't think the family so much, but the institution and the firm is so afraid of losing the image, whatever that is.
Who is a part of the institution? Is it the family?
We don't know. I don't.
Not the family?
They didn't tell us. They won't tell us. They would not tell us. There's like the family, and then there's the institution surrounding the family. I don't know if they're cousins, uncles, aunties, grandparents, or people that have been hired on, or what. But whatever they are, they're telling the family, the queen, the prince, the princes, princesses, all them, this is what you have to do. This is how you have to act. This is how you have to walk. This is what you got to say.
So they're over them?
That's what it seems like.
I thought they were the...
I thought so too. But after this interview, it sounds like the institution is bigger than them.
Well, I mean, okay, so... It kind of sounds like it, and it kind of doesn't. Because my thing is, if you are the above all, be all, whatever, then, Queen, you got the final say so. Like, unless they threaten your life or something like that, and you just got to do what they say. And so if that's the case, then no, you tell them what it's going to be like. You know, if that is true, I mean, if this is truly your family, I'm not going to, if I can speak up, I'm going to speak up. If you ask me a question, I'm going to tell the truth about the situation. And I feel like they didn't do that. They just shut up. No,
they didn't. And part of it, according to the conversation, again, and I'm not, believe me, I'm not validating them at all. It could have been me. That's my grandson. That's my grandson. Y'all ain't finna do this to him.
And see, I wonder, as much as good as a relationship, you know, he says that they have with his grandmother, it's like, when are y'all going to see them? Because I don't trust y'all to bring him there.
No, clearly. I mean, they've already taken away the protections, the titles. They wouldn't give Archie a title for crying out loud. But again, think about who wouldn't give it to him. It wasn't Grandma, according to Harry.
And see, that still doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. None. It sounds like they revealed to us that there is someone or something that's bigger than the king and the queen. Than the king and the queen of them. That's something your mama got. The king or the queen of England. Like, obviously, when it comes to making decisions about the country itself, like, the queen and the kings are merely figureheads. They don't run nothing. They're just there. They just kind of take up space. the prime minister is the one that's actually making all the decisions. The prime minister is more like your president of England. So let's put that on the table. Listen, Queen Elizabeth ain't going out and setting policy. She's not making rules. She's not doing laws. She's not telling people what to do. She's just a figurehead. So you already got that all going on for yourself there. So I'm assuming that this institution was set up to run the image that is the monarchy, the patriarchs, the princes, and all that kind of stuff, and they have to do what they're told in order to maintain this image.
And if you don't,
you lose stuff. I don't ask Harry and them, because apparently they got cut off from their money, they got cut off from their protection, and given that they are widely known, if someone were to try to hurt them or kidnap them or whatever, then all of a sudden, you got a ransom that you can put over somebody's head. Give us, or you'll never get your son or daughter back, or whatever. And they were afraid for that. Again, that was their primary reason for leaving.
You know why they were afraid? Because they wouldn't do the ransom, and that's a really sad, reality.
Yeah.
If that were to happen, I'd be afraid too, because I don't think they would have given the money to get them back.
No.
And that's really, really sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel for her, because she's just one of many who has had to put on this persona of, hey, I'm good. No, I'm not. I'm wanting to kill myself on the inside.
And she spoke to that. She spoke to that day that they were in the at some party.
Yeah.
Talked about, oh, y'all look so pretty, and she was like,
and
I remember what was going on in that picture. Mm-hmm. Like I was on the verge of wanting to hurt myself then. Mm-hmm. Every time the lights went down, I'm crying. Lights come back up. I had to wipe the tears away in order to maintain the image until we got home. He wouldn't let my hand go because he knew that if he let me go, and I knew that he couldn't leave me here by myself, because if he left me here, I would have done something to myself. Do you know how devastating that was? Like, and for her to go to the institution, the firm, and say, I need help. And they're like, oh, we're so sorry for you. Okay, now go back to your cottage. Oh, we've all been through that before. Go back to your cottage. Like, bruh, are you...
Who has been through that before?
Listen, ain't nobody been through that. Ain't nobody been through that. I don't want to hear that. Ain't none of them went through what she went through. I'm sorry. No, ain't none of them gone through the stuff that she had to go through. Talking about, okay, well, you see what happened to her. Because even then, talking about, we're worried about the race of the child. Ain't nobody gone through that.
What are you worried about the race of the child for? What is
how dark the skin gonna be? Ain't nobody ever had to go through that before.
What has that got to do with it?
Like, this is supposed to be your grandson, but y'all worried about the race of the baby, the color of the baby, and again, we all here kind of confused, because like, okay, yeah, I guess I can see why you would be worried about it or whatever, but guess what? Even if it's something you remotely worried about, homegirl white, half the black folk we know. Ain't no way this baby's gonna come out looking like the Matumbo. Ain't no way.
You don't know. You don't know what her family look like.
Listen, okay. I'm trying to be funny, trying to make light of it, but the fact of the matter is that was really messed up.
Very.
All that she's had to go through, all that he's had, especially and Harry too. I mean, her especially, but Harry too.
Go through this
this is the second time around. Yes, as a child he couldn't do nothing about it, but he was like, I'd be home, and this is why I'm like, Harry, you my dog. He was like, in permission to cuss, I'd be damned if I'm gonna let y'all kill my wife. You got my mama. I'm not gonna let you get my wife. I'm not gonna let you get my kid. We getting up out of here. Y'all ain't gonna protect us. You ain't gonna do nothing for us. We gonna go. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. You gotta take my titles. You gotta take my name. You gotta take whatever, man. This dude, you talking about? I saw Jesus in that when he was like, I counted all his loss.
Yeah.
All his loss. You don't listen. You don't want to protect us? Cool. I'm gonna get my own protection. Mm-hmm. We'll go to our own place. We'll figure it out ourselves. Because if y'all are I'm not gonna let y'all take my wife from me. I'm not gonna let you. I love this woman. This woman is more important than monarchy. This woman is more important than a title. This woman is more important than money. I got money. And then on top of that, they have friends. Tyler Perry, Oprah.
Grateful.
I mean, you know, they were like, listen, we'll make it work. I'm gonna make it do what it do. Even if we gotta go by ourselves, we're gonna make it do what it do.
And I applaud them because I can't, if I were in that situation, I could not see myself still trying to protect y'all after you have treated us like this. You know, I'm still trying to keep quiet of some things just to help y'all. And, you know, I don't know if it's because, you know, they're probably still afraid of any backlash from them. But what kind of backlash could you get? You're not part of it anymore. You know, what can you, if the truth is out, the truth is out. I mean, and if you're going to try to do something to me because of that, the truth is already out anyway.
Yeah, you know? And I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, you know, it couldn't, like I said, it couldn't have been me. Oh, I'm telling you, it was my daddy, it was my uncle, it was Nook, Ray, Bolo. You know, no, I'm sorry. It was Jennifer. It was Bradley.
Olivia.
It was Olivia. it was Jimbo, and all of them. All of them were talking about how black this kid gonna be. I'm telling it. I'm gonna tell it all. Y'all spend all this time. Y'all spend all this time spreading all these lies and these headlines. I'm gonna give y'all the truth.
I could only imagine the conversation, you know, you're having with whoever you had this conversation with about the skin color of your child. You know, I don't know, we've been through a couple of things, you know.
How?
And so it's like I feel like you can, whatever you do to me, it is, to me, it kind of bounces off and it's like, whatever, you know, just
once you go after my kids, you go after my spouse.
And you and my family, like it's a whole different, I don't know, it's a whole different.
Yep.
I'm gonna speak up more. I feel like when you come at me, I don't speak up as much, and you know, maybe God need to work on me with that. But it's like I don't care, whatever. Too over that. But it's like when you come for my family, it's a whole different story. And so I applaud both of them for trying to keep some stuff silent. And like I said, I don't know if it's because they were still, you know, a little bit afraid of the backlash that could come from them. But it's like at this point, I got my security. I'm not near y'all. I don't plan on coming back near y'all.
Y'all can have that.
And so, yeah.
Y'all gonna have to get on a plane and come see us. I'm sorry. Y'all burnt that bridge. I'm sorry. Like I said, when it got to the point when y'all said you're not gonna protect us. No, I'm gonna back up. When you got to the point where you said I'm not gonna give your son a title
because
of what his skin color might be, which means that he can't have the same protections that the rest of the grandkids have. They say, it ain't even talking about Harry or Meghan or Kate or William. I'm talking about the grandkids. Just the grandkids. You're not gonna give them the same protection you give the quote unquote white grandkids. Heck no. I'm done then. Like, it's over then. And like they said, they tried every avenue they could think of to figure out how can I protect my son? How can I protect my future kids? Because not just him. You know, they had a miscarriage and then they got one on the way. You ain't gonna protect them. They're in your bloodline. Whether you want to accept Meghan or not, they're in your bloodline. So for you to fix your mouth to say, I'm not going to protect them, that for me was the straw that would have broke my back. Bump my mental health. Oh no, I'm gonna find a way up out of here. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. I would have called up something. It would have been a Mission Impossible moment. Listen, I'm gonna get on the plane. Y'all gonna come and fly up under the plane. I'm gonna jump off this one, get in this one, and y'all gonna take me to some remote place. And I'm gonna show up and be like, what's up? Like, nah, we ain't doing this. Nah, because again, you come after my family now. It's different when it's me, although in Meghan's case, like, she was on the brink. And thank God she found the courage to speak up. As an aside, if you are going through anything, in your life, don't ever feel like, you know, you can't talk to somebody. Even if you got to pick up that phone and call that National Suicide Hotline, please talk to somebody. Your life matters. Your life matters. But again, with her, I thank God she spoke up and said something to her husband.
Yeah.
Because she could have tried to put on airspace, because she said it herself. Like, I was going through all of this, and I didn't want to put any more pressure on my husband.
Yeah.
He's already got the weight of the world on his shoulders. I'm supposed to come with solutions. I'm not supposed to come with problems. But thank God she found the courage to say, hey, this is what I'm thinking about. And the way she said, let me tell you something. This girl is an actor for reals. Because she's so eloquent in her speech. Trying to find the right words to say. She said, that I was methodical about it, and that's not me. I was like, dang, that means she had a plan. Because it's not. She said it's not abstract. It's methodical. That's the type of stuff that worries me in the prison system. Because I tell people all the time, when in the prison system, when someone wants to kill themselves, they're not going to tell you. Their plan is in motion.
Yeah.
And they're not going to tell you what they're going to do. They're just going to do it. Most of the time when I'm dealing with people who are, quote unquote, suicidal, homicidal at my job, you know, they don't want to die. They just want something else. And they're using it as a means to get what they really want. But with her, she said it's methodical, which means that she had gone through so much pressure in that short amount of time. She had lost who she was. And thank God she had enough of herself to say, Harry, listen. And so for me, that's why I'm so proud of him that he chose his wife, because he could have been like, suck it up. You got to deal with it. But he was like,
could have been like, well, I mean, do you still want to be here?
Right. You want a divorce?
But I commend them both like that.
Man,
that has got to be hard. It's got to be real hard, because you have people here who, you know, have problems with, you know, trying to get to know the family, or family dislikes you, and so it's like you have to choose. What are you going to do? Like, are you going to stick with your family and continue to stay naive to the wrong that's going on, or are you going to try to get yourself out and do the right thing? You know, praying that, you know, God can unharden their hearts like he did yours. And not even saying that your heart was hardened. It was just naive to just everything going on. And so,
this is my life. This is what it is. Until someone else comes along and shows you a different path, a different way. Now you got to choose. Are you going to... I
don't even think it's just race that is the problem. I feel like it's just any outsider.
It's a piece of it, yeah.
Yeah, that's
a piece of it.
I feel like it's any outsider. Because with Diane, I mean,
Diana was an outsider, yeah.
She was just an outsider.
Outspoken. She was going to speak her mind. You weren't going to silence her. I will not be silent. That was her all day.
So it's just any outsider who doesn't
follow
fit
the
into
rules.
Your little whatever. And you know, you're not...
Who values freedom over a title. Because again, Kate Middleton, you don't hear nothing from her. And it doesn't necessarily mean that she values the title more than she does her freedom. It's just that she's playing the role, and it's giving her...
She's fine with it.
Yeah, she's okay with it. Like, okay, I get to be the princess, so whatever.
Some people are okay with that.
Yeah.
You know, just do whatever you're told and...
Don't say nothing. So, yeah, man. Like I say, I commend them both for getting out, because it could have gone sideways. As a matter of fact, it did go sideways. And
but it could have been much worse.
Yeah, we could be talking about somebody's funeral again, man. Because like I said, with Diana, that thing hurt.
And she has another one. They're 2 and done.
Yeah, 2 and done in the summer.
And
they're going to have 2 more watch.
No. They said they're 2 and done.
No, shoot, no. They're going to be living that good life pretty soon, man. I'm talking about the good life.
I mean, I feel like they are. Like, I commend them. They do. And that's all you want. Like, it doesn't, the titles don't matter. It's that peace that you can feel wherever you are.
Yes.
In your home.
And you know how I know that they're at peace? One, they won't out anybody. They don't feel like they have to because they're at peace with where they are. Two, they said, if the queen wants us to do anything, we're right there. I don't need a title to do anything for her. If they want me to, if she wants me to do something on her behalf, I'll do it. It don't matter. I don't need the title to do that. All she gotta do is call me. And that's how you know that their peace had nothing to do with wanting to maintain status and everything to do with wanting to keep themselves safe and well.
Yeah.
And that's deep. I'll give up the titles. I'll still do the work. I ain't got my name ain't got to be on it to be behind the scenes. You never know it was me. I just wanted to make sure that my son was safe. Y'all couldn't do. Y'all wouldn't.
Y'all wouldn't. Y'all could have, but y'all didn't.
Wouldn't.
And I don't care what nobody say. Like people, keep saying that they like shocked the queen with all this, and they did this, and they came out this quick and all that. Were you there?
Exactly.
Did you see behind the scenes?
Exactly.
Did you know? Do you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that was there?
Exactly.
To say they did this on this day at the same day.
Exactly.
Like, you were not there, so stop acting like you know just because you're getting pieces of information from different places.
Exactly.
Like, you heard in the interview itself, they went through the proper channels to do what they needed to do to get out. And so if you can't deal with that fact, then just get over it.
Get over it yourself.
You weren't there. The pieces of information that you got, you don't know if they're entirely true because you weren't there. And even if somebody was there that you know, how do you know they're not lying? Because apparently that's what we do. Because we want to keep this whatever up.
Keep that energy, girl. I love it. I love it. You can't talk about me no more.
What?
Talk about I'm energetic. You got the sauce today. I'm proud of you.
No, I just hate when people. Okay, that's a strong word.
No, she hated.
I just like when people, say things about different situations, and you were not there to know what really went down. You may get several pieces of information, but it's almost like that little game we used to play where
the
you whisper something in somebody's ear, and then they whisper into another. And by the time it gets around the room, it's something entirely different.
I'll say this. This was completely different from that because in this case, they just completely changed the story.
Exactly.
Once the first person told the story, the second person just completely changed the story.
With the whole crying thing.
Right.
Like,
okay.
You were not
Meghan was crying. Kate was crying. What? Wait.
What happened? Wait. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can, even if you do know somebody, like, you cannot take to the bank that this is what happened.
Go to the source.
Go to the source. You were not there.
You don't know.
You were not there.
You were there.
I mean, you can't say it's because, they're not speaking about it. They ain't speaking about nothing. If they weren't going to speak about the fact that, they took their protection away, what makes you think they're going to speak on the fact that they went out the right way?
Exactly.
They're not.
Keep that energy.
All right, let's go.
Keep that energy. If you got any questions or comments, fill out that comment box below. We'll try to get to them as fast as we can. Hopefully the video quality has gotten better for you guys on Instagram. We ain't got no way to check. So hopefully it's gotten better for you guys. You are watching the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole here on Instagram and Facebook, and you can catch this and all our other podcasts on Spotify at any time. Just download the app and look up Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole, and they'll be right there for your listening pleasure anytime, any place, anywhere. This second story is coming out of Missouri. She done got hot, y'all. You can turn the fan on if you want to, because you're finna get hotter with this.
Wait a minute. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go and turn the fan on. I'm gonna read the story to y'all while I'm waiting on. Okay, thank you, quality. Alright, so if y'all thought that story was gonna make you upset, this one right here is just gonna make y'all super duper mad, especially females. All my ladies, I'm just gonna put this disclaimer out there. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I do not prescribe to any of this stuff. So I need y'all to hear me say that, because she's about to go ham, and I'm going to let her, because yes you is. It's okay. Yes you is.
I'm not gonna go ham.
I want her to, because we finna dig in on this one.
I'm not gonna go ham.
Missouri pastor on leave after sexist sermon preaching wives need to look good for their husbands. Missouri pastors on leave after a video emerged of him saying that preaching that wives should strive to be thin, made up, well-dressed, and satisfying in the bedroom to keep their husbands interested because, quote, God made men to be drawn to beautiful women. Quote, I want you to know a need that your man that he has that he won't ever tell you about, but since I'm the preacher man, I'll say it. Your man needs an attractive wife. First General Baptist Church pastor Stuart Allen Clark said from the pulpit at the start of the sermon. So let's go. General Baptist Ministries, which the church is affiliated with, said Clark's. Yeah, I saw it. Oh. Said Clark's sermon included comments that are not consistent with the positions and values of General Baptist. This man said, I'm not saying every woman can be the epic trophy wife of all time like Melania Trump.
That's a direct quote.
Maybe you're a participation trophy, but you don't need to look like a butch either. You need to know this. Men have a need for their women to look like women. Sweatpants don't cut it all the time, huh? Men want their women to look good at home and in public. Can I get an amen? Don't give him a reason to be like this distracted boyfriend. Why is it so many times that women after they get married let themselves go? Don't give him a reason to be looking around. I really don't believe women understand how visual men are, lies. I don't think women understand how important it is for a man to have a beautiful woman on his arm. You can call it juvenile, immature, sexist, but God made men to be drawn to beautiful women. We are made this way. We can't help ourselves. He said without reference to scripture. Y'all better get it, NBC. She looked like a sumo wrestler and he was a little guy. Adding that the wife lost 100 pounds and the marriage was saved. She wants me to look at her and nobody else. One of her favorite expressions is food never tastes as good as skinny feels. I'm glad I have a wife that understands the way I am. He said, what's the difference between a man's wife and a man's girlfriend? Oh, about 60 pounds. Praise God for makeup. It's like crack filler for drywall. How about you ask your husband, not your girlfriend, not your hairdresser, not your mama. Why don't you ask him what makeup looks good on you? It's important that he thinks you're hot. The wife does not have authority over her own body but yields it to her husband. After you get married, men, put this on your headboard in the house. Whenever she's not in the mood, take out your Bible. In the same way, the husband does not have authority over his body but yields to his wife. He asserts for the 8th time, we can't help ourselves. God made us this way. I then pulled some other stuff that him said.
He said his wife looked like a sumo wrestler?
No, he said that a couple that he did marriage counseling with, and that's why he, don't. And yes, that's a direct quote. These are all direct quotes that I'm reading from this dude. He said, your man needs an attractive wife. I married a trophy wife, but I got a Stanley Cup now. Don't give him a reason to look around. Men are visual. Men must have a beautiful woman on his arm. Why do women let themselves go? Participation trophy as if Melania Trump is the standard. Oh, punk. Men have a need for their women to look like women. God made men to be drawn to beautiful women. He made us to look and you want him to look at you. He said that a lot. He made us to look and you want him to look at you. Weight control. 60-pound difference between a girlfriend and a wife.
Dude.
Man put divorce weight on his wife. Food never tastes as good as skinny feels. Makeup bond over dented vehicles. You don't want to be ugly and stink. Why do women cut their hair after they're married? Coco Chanel said nothing makes a woman look old than a woman trying to look young. Really attractive women really attractive women have snakes in their heads. A food that diminishes a woman's sex drive, wedding cake. Deny sex, whip out your Bible. This is the way God made us. Affection for a woman is spelled Talk. Affection for a man is spelled Sex. When a man gets married, he's committing himself exclusively sexually to you. Sex cannot be satisfied anywhere else that honors God. So when that need is not met, he's either starved, looking somewhere else, or miserable. Sex is the main reason he married you, and sometimes you have to let your man be your knight in shining armor. Stand back and let him do it. Nope. You have the floor, and I'm just going.
First of all, I want to know: do you reciprocate? You know, when I first heard this, I was so mad.
Y'all, I had to sit here and watch this woman that I'm married to yell.
I screamed and I yelled every time
She almost
stupid.
cried.
Because oh my gosh. I asked Eddie, I said, Eddie, is there a problem?
I love you till your hair turns gray, and I still want you if you gain a little weight, and I don't know the rest of the words, but just as long as your love don't change.
Do you reciprocate any of this? So women are supposed to be this like
goddess,
this whatever
goddess.
So is that the same for the man? You know, you say that your wife joined Weight Watchers and you joined with her. Good. Where is he?
In Missouri.
I mean, no. Where's the picture of him? You know, because you joined Weight Watchers with her.
You saw him. Like, got a big belly.
You don't look all that boo.
He got a big old gut. Big old gut.
How do you know what Eve looked like?
You better talk about that, ma'am. Men have cheated on some of the most beautiful women, famous women in the world. Talk, ma'am.
So what does it mean? Okay, so when you say that, what does it mean attractive women have snakes in their head?
Exactly.
So you're saying that they need to be attractive, but you're saying that they're so
if
attractive.
They're going to have snakes in their head. So which one is it, sir?
Okay,
Go
you
on.
can't have both because you said, you know.
Be attractive.
Be attractive.
But don't have snakes in your head.
But then make sure you have a good heart. Like,
right. How that work?
You need to be attractive, but you still need to make sure you have a good heart. But attractive women have snakes in their head. Which one is it? I'm not sure. Why do we let ourselves go?
Tell them why.
I got 2 kids. I got a job.
Come on.
And then I come home I'm in school still, working on my master's.
Talk about it.
You know, so I got schoolwork. I come home from my job dealing with kids. I cook. I clean. I try to. My kitchen is clean every night. Get my kids' homework done. Making sure they clean up their stuff. Spending time with them. Then doing my work for school. Then having some time with my husband. What?
And I thank you so much. Shoot. Thank you. Come on.
Okay. He made men to look. Wait, what?
Come on now.
Did he make Adam to look? Okay, so yes, Adam did look around. There was no one like him, so God made someone for him, and that was good. But I don't believe that he made men to look. You know?
Sin did that.
Sin did that.
Well, we're going to go there, but it ain't my turn yet. Go ahead.
You know? Difference between man and woman. Oh my Jesus. Difference between a woman and a wife is weight control. So you didn't marry a woman who was like you want them to, so once y'all were married, was she still your girlfriend? Like, I'm not seeing that. I'm not kind of registering with
so she's
that.
just supposed to stay frozen. Once you marry her, it's like you lock it in.
You lock it in. You cannot change.
You can't change.
But
you can't get old.
If you change, make sure you dress
your age. But you still gotta be attractive, But you gotta dress your age. So because you can't be 90 trying to dress like a 20-year-old. You gotta dress like a 90-year-old. But you gotta be attractive to your man still. Because if she tried to deny you a sex,
then the man's not happy.
And he's either gonna look elsewhere, be miserable, or
and the fact that you said women don't have rights to their body, and you're probably not meaning it like this, but you did not say it like this.
So
that's almost saying to a rapist.
Come on now.
You do what you do. It's okay because
it's
woman
okay.
Doesn't have a right.
She ain't got a right to her body, especially if you can find a way to marry her.
Because from my understanding, you could still be raped, married.
Mm-hmm.
Tina Turner.
Talk, ma'am.
I'm just saying.
Just saying.
Make sure you have, okay, so I feel so just bad for the wife, because I don't know if this is how it was when you got married, or if this is how you think as well, but if this is how the wife thinks as well, then I feel even more sorry for you, because you have this pressure put on you to be a certain way, or this will happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the saying food never looks as good as skinny. Food never feels. Skinny feels like that kind of hurts a little bit, because then, you know, I look at my girls, and we teach our girls, you know, if you want to change something about you, it's because you want to change it, not because somebody else is saying something about the way you look, or, you know, how you dress, or how you wear your hair, or your weight, or whatever. Like, that is your decision. That is your body. Nobody else has rights to your body except for God and you. So if you want to do something, it's because you want to do it. Like, I feel really, because the pressure is so hard, because it's already pressure on females, you know, I don't know if it's just especially, but I feel like especially black women, because, you know, and not trying to say that it's not Caucasian women too, but,
or
you know,
race for that matter.
Yeah, but I feel like growing up, it's so much more that has to be put into a black girl. You know, it's the hair, because of the texture. You don't always have problems with my hair. I'm like, I got like about the color, but I ain't get the hair, you know? and so I'm like, it's so much pressure to be this way, you know? Your butt too big, you know, your breast too big, or, you know, your hips too wide, or you can't wear this, or, you know, don't put this on, or you gonna get like,
mm-hmm.
And I have to even do that with my girl. I have to watch. Like, my girls are growing up so beautifully, and it scares the living daylights out of me, you know, because it's just, even now you see them and they're trying to make sure their hair is fine, their clothes, not so much my youngest one, but my oldest one, you know, how she dresses, and, you know, that's good and all, you know, you want to be presentable, and you want to make sure that you look right when you walk out of these doors, you know, to get to your goals and stuff like that. But it's like, it's just so much pressure. But then to feel that pressure from your spouse, it's harder. It's even harder. And it's hurtful. Like, what are you showing your kids? Oh, to please your man, you gotta do this, or he gonna look at somebody else. Or, hey son, you know, if she doesn't look at you, or she don't do this, then, you know, you can have wondering eyes, it's okay. And that's just not right. That is not right. That's not what we should be teaching our kids. And it's even, and I think about this because it's even a little bit more hurtful, because last week, this is what they're trying to do with toys. They're trying to teach them, you know. Barbie, you know, is like this, you know, I don't need Ken, or, you know, it's just, oh my gosh, let's be teaching them their ABCs. Teach them how to read, you know. Put a Bible in front of them, and let's do this. Let's teach them what God really says about our bodies and about relationships. Go ahead.
Sure? You got it all? Oh, you can have it. You got some more?
That just really irked me, man. Like,
clearly.
It did. because we have girls. You know, God is funny. He's real funny. Because I feel like I put my mama through some stuff growing up, you know? And it's like to look back on life and to think about everything, and then to look at these girls and see a lot of us in them. It's freaking scary.
You tell them.
You know? And then to know that this is out there. And it's out there not just in church, boo. It's in the world. Like, it's so bad when you bring this worldly stuff into a place where you're supposed to feel like you can be just you. You know, not be judged on your color, not be judged on your weight, not be judged on your gender, not be judged on your faith.
Come on.
But obviously you can't. Nowhere.
Yeah.
I'm done.
All right. My first, so I have probably 3 major problems in light of everything else all that you said. I'm not going to try to repeat anything you said. You said it beautifully. You said it well. And again, I love you. And until we get old and gray, gain weight, lose weight, whatever, you do it because that's what you want to do. I love you for who you are. Always have, always will. All my women out there, y'all are great, y'all are beautiful. Don't let nobody change y'all for who you are unless that's what you want to do. Now, my first problem with this guy is the fact that he wasn't even preaching from the Bible. Let's get that right off the bat.
Yeah.
This dude was preaching from a book called His Needs and Her Needs by some person named Dr. Hartley. That's the first problem I had with him. He was not even preaching the Bible. He was preaching some book he read from some doctor and claiming that to be the gospel. Like, that's problem number 1.
Yeah.
Like, if you ain't gonna preach Jesus, then sir, you ain't a preacher. Period. You don't need to be in the pulpit. If you gonna come with somebody's book and you gonna preach the book, even when we did the Recovery Redemption series.
I was thinking about that. It's not like you
I didn't come from the book.
You did not.
I read the book and got the Bible and said, how do these compare? And then I went and preached the Bible. I didn't preach the book because the book ain't Jesus.
It's like it's not that you see the book in the Bible.
Correct.
You see some little pockets that the Bible
is pointing to.
Exactly.
Yes, and that's what we preach. And so it may sound like I was preaching the book because I was reading the book, but I preach straight from the Bible because that's what we're here to preach. We're not here to preach other people's books. We're here to preach Jesus. So that was mistake number 1. That's the biggest thing of all. So from that perspective alone, I dismiss everything this man says because you ain't even preaching Jesus. You're preaching Dr. Hartley. And Dr. Hartley, I'm sorry, ain't got nothing on Jesus. And so so that all by itself already let me know I don't need to listen to another thing you tell me, sir. Even if you pull some scripture, I ain't got nothing else to hear about what you got to say.
You doing what Satan did in the beginning, boo. You pulling scripture to try to manipulate people into doing what you...
Didn't God say that if you fall down, the angels will catch you? So yeah, Satan was pulling scripture. Did God say you will surely die? He's pulling scripture. That's all that Satan does. So it's no different here. No different here. But again, he told on himself from the jump when he said out of the book of His Needs and Her Needs. Right then and there, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I can dismiss all this man saying. I ain't got to listen to nothing else. Because you ain't even preaching the Bible. You preaching this man's book. And you going line by line, precept by precept of this book. That's the first thing. Second thing, when he says that men are visual creatures and women need to understand that, I need this man to understand that women are just as visual, if not more visual, than men are.
Okay.
Because, and I mean this with all love in the world, women watch porn just like men do. Okay? So let's be clear. It ain't just us. Women go to parties just as much as men do. Bachelorette parties, girls' night, girls' trip.
What's his name?
Oh, Magic Mike. Come on, man. Magic Mike. Nuts said. Magic Mike, double XL.
And the Magic Mike 2 was good.
Nuts said. I mean, it don't get any more. That right there, bingo. Women are just as visual as men are. So let's be clear, because if they weren't, and I love you, I would have had a whole bunch more girlfriends.
What?
If they weren't than I had before I met you. Okay? My count was so darn low.
That's because you was dumb.
Clearly I was dumb.
You was dumb,
But
yeah.
at the same time, I didn't have the physique. I've never had the physique of, say, like the Idris Elbas or whatever. I've never been that guy. And so, I always knew it was me was more the emotion than I was the physical. And so right off the bat, I knew for myself, I was at a disadvantage. Especially growing up in a world where we were becoming more and more visual as the days go by. So, I'm saying all that to say, it is what it is. I thank you. That's why I said what I said. But right. I thank God that I thank you so much. I love you. But again, I'm sorry. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm sorry. But again, women are just as visual as men are, if not more. So let's be clear. That is equal. It's equal.
Okay.
Men are just as visual as women. Women are just
Medea say that cross.
right. Okay. You've seen the Medea movies. She's hot. Like, come on now. Come on. I'm just saying. Like, women are just as visual as men are. Let's be clear. If somebody take off a chest and you looking like you got six-pack abs and you got chest from here to here, why do you have muscles on your shoulders? Come on now. Exactly. So no, I'm sorry, sir.
No.
Women are just as visual as men are. Cut that mess out. That don't make no sense. The third thing, what did he say? No, listen, it is what it is. The third thing, there was one, here it is. He said, this is the way God made us. The way that women spell affection is T-A-L-K, and the way that men spell it is S-E-X.
So
Let me tell you
true.
something, sir.
That's
Tell you something. Ain't no way.
Sure know how to T-A.
Ain't no way. Thank you. That's why we doing the podcast in the first place. All I do is talk.
Yeah.
That's all I do. Like I told my wife when she first got on here, I'm surprised she even want to be on it because I talk so much. And why I'm so surprised you talked as much as you did today. Because I'm usually the one that's going off all day and you sitting here listening to me. And so, again, it's like, no, not everyone's not hardwired that way.
Yeah.
And again, to be in a position, to put yourself in a position as if you are the authority of all things men and women, no, sir, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. It does not work that way. Men are not in one box and women in another box. Look at David. David, who wrote half the daggum Psalms. If that ain't an emotional person, sometimes emotionally unstable, but an emotional person who wrote out his thoughts, think of all the R&B songs that men write.
True.
All the romantic comedies that men write. Like, women ain't the only ones coming up with that stuff. And let's be clear, not all women know how to talk. There are women who are more about getting it than men are. And again, it's not a knock either way. It's just the way God made that person.
Exactly.
Not a group of people. So again, first of all, I said from Jump Street, he wasn't even preaching from the Bible to begin with. So I dismissed everything he had to say. Oh, the last thing, I'm sorry. When he was saying that men are created this way, that God made us to look and things like that, you alluded to this kinda. He wasn't looking far back enough. Because in creation, God didn't make us like this. He didn't make women to be emotional or men to be visual. That was not how he created us. Sin jacked us up to be where men and women have wandering eyes. Men and women can be emotional. Men and women can gain weight, lose weight. Men and women can fall in and out of love. Sin did that.
Yeah. God
didn't do that. Sin jacked that up. So again, he didn't even go far back enough to tell. Again, he wasn't preaching from the Bible anyway. So, but again, God didn't create us this way. That's why we need a Savior to redeem us, to help us to live out and fulfill the gospel mandate that allows us to love one another as God loves us, even through the transitions of life. Because it's true, you do have some men and some women who will see their spouse and be like, man, you just let yourself go. I'm sick of this. But again, if they don't have the gospel undergirding them, they can't see that the beauty in that. That there's beauty in change. There's beauty in transition. There's beauty in wanting to take care of yourself. There is peace in being comfortable in where you are. You know, again, as long as there's God in that, you know, it's all good. And if we can appreciate what God has done in us, then it is becoming much greater than it could have been. But again, he wasn't preaching from the Bible, so I don't expect him. And I'm mad that it took them finding the tape to finally dismiss him after saying all that he said, and they were admitting it in the pool, in the congregation anyway, laughing at his jokes and all that stuff. So no, man, dismiss me with all that stuff, because at the end of the day, bruh, if you ain't gonna preach the Bible to me in the first place, you need to sit down.
Yeah.
Secondly, shame on the people who put you up there, didn't try to pull you down after all that you said. Thirdly, ain't no way that you know what a man and a woman are about, because clearly you ain't even doing what you need to do to take care of yourself, let alone try to tell somebody else how to take care of themselves. Okay, I'm through.
All right, let's keep going. Sorry, we're running over time today.
Yeah, we're running over time, but it's all good, man.
So,
if y'all have any questions or comments, fill out that comment box below. We'll try to get to as fast as we can. It's gonna be an hour-long half show. Probably gonna be like that for the rest of the time. I feel like it is. I feel like it is.
We need to make it just now. Okay, let's keep going.
I feel like we're getting there.
Last thing.
I feel like we're getting there.
Last thing.
So we got some good news today. So Nicole, I'm gonna let you go first with why your arm hurt.
So, you notice Eddie touched my arm, it hurts. No, he did not punch me. Feels like I got punched.
I did not punch her. Okay?
No,
I am not that guy.
No.
I will have, I'd be in the grave if I were to have ever done anything like that.
Never.
So just letting y'all know I didn't do that. That's not, I'm not that guy.
So.
Lover, not a fighter.
Eddie got his first vaccine last Friday, and I got my first COVID vaccine on this past Friday, and my arm is like really sore. It feels like somebody punched me. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm grateful that Eddie has done the research, because I did not. I did a little bit of research, but I didn't go into full nerd research like Eddie did. And
I showed up did that gum, and I was scared what they were putting me.
I'm really grateful that he did, because you know, it's scary.
Quality, you got jokes.
It's scary. This whole pandemic has been scary. It's been frustrating because you know, we've been wanting to go different places, we've been wanting to do different things, we've been wanting to hang out with our family more. You know, me and Eddie were talking, like, our girls have been like troopers, you know, because we haven't been able to take them places, and they've had to miss out on birthday parties and different parties.
Marie couldn't play ball this year.
And our oldest, like, she wanted to play basketball, but we didn't really feel safe, so we sat her down in basketball this year. And you know, it's like there's hope. You know, I see hope. It's scary. I'm not one to, you know, get vaccines. Like, I don't get the flu vaccine. I don't do any of that. Not because they're bad. It's just because I don't, I guess, just want that in me. But you know, we did it this time, and we feel hope, and you know, hope in the future of us trying to get back to, well, you know, I said not even get back to normal, because I feel like we're not going to get back to the normal, but to just move forward, and to be able to take our girls on a trip and not be so afraid of, you know, catching something that can potentially basically kill us. And so, yeah, that's why my arm is sore, my arm is hurting. You know, they said, you know, different side effects that could come with it. I haven't really felt anything. I feel like what I'm feeling is from my sinus infection that I have, and not from the shot. And so, yeah, I'm hopeful, and I can't wait to be able to take my girls to the beach one day.
So I'm gonna go over what the CDC is saying, that if we're fully vaccinated, what we'll be able to do, and then I'm gonna kind of go on for just a couple of minutes, and I don't have a whole lot much to say. The CDC defines people who are fully vaccinated as those who are 2 weeks past their second dose of the Moderna and Pfizer COVID-19 vaccines, or 2 weeks past a single dose of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. There is growing evidence that people who are vaccinated don't spread COVID-19, although the scientists are still trying to understand how long the vaccine protection lasts. The new CDC guidance that came out this week says that a fully vaccinated person can visit other vaccinated people indoors without masks or physical distancing. Visit indoors with unvaccinated people from a single household without masks or physical distancing if the unvaccinated people are at low risk for severe disease. You can also skip quarantine and testing if exposed to someone who has had COVID-19 but are asymptomatic, but they should monitor themselves for symptoms for 14 days. Fully vaccinated, vaccinated, people who are fully vaccinated should still take precautions in many scenarios. The guidelines say that fully vaccinated people must wear a mask and keep good physical distance around the unvaccinated who are at increased risk for severe COVID-19, or if the unvaccinated person has a household member who is at higher risk, and wear masks and physically distance when visiting unvaccinated people who are from multiple households. In addition, fully vaccinated people should continue basic safety precautions, including wearing a mask that fits well, keeping physical distance in public, avoiding medium and large size crowds, which we need to talk about that, what we did today, avoiding poorly ventilated public spaces, washing hands frequently, and getting tested for COVID-19 if they get sick. They also have some stuff about travel and go ahead. But again, so for me, it's hope, man. It's hope. After a year, it was a year anniversary this week of the complete, nationwide shutdown. And it's hope for me, man. I told everybody the first thing that I want to do when I'm fully vaccinated, 2 weeks out of getting vaccinated, so that means like mid-April, is I'm going to go to my mom's house, because she's fully vaccinated now, and I'm going to give my mom a hug. I haven't been able to physically touch my mom in a year because of this COVID-19. The last time I saw my mom out in public was at my girls' basketball game when she won the championship. That was the last time I was able to be physically close to my mom. Since and my dad too. Definitely don't want to leave him out. But I haven't been able to touch them since COVID-19 began. And we've seen each other only a few times in public. They've come to the house. We've seen them on Zoom, but it's nothing like being able to have that physical touch. And I'm a hugger, and so that's what I'm looking forward to being able to do. That's the first thing I'm gonna do once I'm fully vaccinated at 11:15, 2 Fridays from the 26th. I'm going to my mom's house. I'm gonna give her the biggest hug. We're gonna sit and we're gonna chat in the house without masks on. That's what I'm looking forward to. So again, for me, it's just hope, man. I want to go to the beach and not feel afraid. I want to be able to go back to the movies again. I want to go to restaurants and not feel like I gotta be worried about Tom, Dick, and Harry who didn't wear masks the whole time that they were there. And now I gotta feel differently about people who don't wear masks because they may be fully vaccinated at this point.
I mean, the thing is with that, they're not saying to not wear masks.
No. I'm not saying that they are.
Some who will go out and be like, oh, I don't have to wear a mask because I'm fully vaccinated, but you are still around people who you don't know.
I know that. And so for me, it's more of a judgment thing because beforehand, like I'm judging folks. Oh, you ain't got a mask on? Oh, you one of them. Oh, okay. You one of them people. Oh, I got you now. Your number called. But now when I go out, I'm going to have to be a little bit more, cautious before throwing that judgment out there.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
No. I know. All I'm saying is I'm hopeful as all get out. I'm not saying that come, April 15th or whatever, I'm going to be out there all willy-nilly masks off. I'm probably not going to do that till maybe January of next year, if not March of next year. But Lord knows, I'm just so happy and so hopeful that we're finally, this whole corner, this corner that our former president was talking about us rounding a whole year, last year, we're rounding the corner, we're rounding the turn.
We're there.
I think we're there now. If Biden was ever to say anything about his predecessor. We're there now. We're rounding now. Again, keep yourselves protected. Wear your masks. Don't go out unless you need to. Be mindful of where you are and what you do in those spaces. Wash your hands, distance, the whole 9 yards.
Touch something. Don't touch your face.
Right. Don't touch your face. It's so hard.
It's a lifestyle. Just like people who go on diets. You dumb preacher. It's not, to me, it's not a diet. It's a lifestyle. Like, you have to make that a part of, I guess, who you are. Like, because you can't, it's almost like saying, with those who go on a diet, okay, I'm just going to do this fast and, do this and then I'll eat. Well, you just done messed up everything of what you are trying to do. That's why it has to be a lifestyle. Right.
And so, again, we're not, listen, it ain't about being pro left or right or whatever. It's just about us all trying to be safe so we can get out of this thing, man. I want the movies to come back. I want to go back to the theaters, man. I want to go back because Black Widow was supposed to be came out. And they came out yet because we can't go to the movies. Fast 9 was supposed to come out last year, man. I'm mad. I want to go see the movies. I want to see them. And so, again, all I'm saying is, protect yourselves as best you can so we can get out of this thing, so we can get back to normal. Buddy said July 4th we ought to be able to go. We ought to be able to have a cookout. I'm looking forward to the cookout. I like to cook myself. Grill out all the time. And so, I'm just looking forward to that day. So again, do what y'all need to do to protect yourselves, keep yourselves safe, and let's look forward to a future where we ain't gotta wear these masks no more, and we ain't gotta, physically distance like we have been no more, and we can go back better than what we were before. So,
starting Monday, 55 and older, because it was 75, but now it's 55.
Yeah, if you're in the state of Georgia, they've reduced the age limit to those who can go and get vaccinated to 55, and that number is going to continue to change so that by May 1st.
I thought it was October. He said 18 and older.
No, May. Biden said May.
Oh.
He said May. It's coming in May.
October, November.
It's coming in May.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So again, y'all just take care of yourselves, take care of one another. You really want to see another? It's not that I want to see one, but if they gonna put it out there, I'm gonna watch it.
You sure
I'm gonna watch it. So
I need to see how old boy came back.
First of all, because we know that's gonna be some BS. No, that's gonna be some BS how he came back anyway. So anyway, I ain't even worried about that.
I know it could be another lady where
listen, I'm pretty sure he probably did. Probably got out the car before it blew up, and he just been hiding out. Whatever it is, what it is. I ain't worried. All I know is if they gonna come out with it, I'm gonna watch it. That's all I'm saying. I ain't asking for it, but if it come out, I'm gonna be right there watching it.
Yeah, man.
Cause I ain't got nothing else to do. and shoot, I love the little popcorn action. Anyway, thank you guys so much for taking the time to listen to us. We definitely have gone well over time today, but I'm grateful nonetheless to have had this time to be able to share with y'all, and hope that we gave you guys something to think about, something to ponder on, and a lot of laughs, even in the midst of all the seriousness that we talked about today. Thank y'all once again so much. If you have missed any part of this podcast, you can catch this and all our past episodes on Spotify and iTunes. Just look us up, Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole, and all of our episodes will be there. I don't have my laptop on me right now, so this episode will be on later. I don't think I'll get my laptop back until at least Monday, so maybe like Monday afternoon to Tuesday afternoon at the latest. This episode will be on Spotify and in iTunes. But again, if you missed any part of this, you can catch us there. And so again, thank y'all so much from the bottom of our hearts for listening to us, and thank you to my co-host for even thinking about getting on here from Jump Street. This show would not be what it is without you being on here, so I'm grateful for you. It was more of an open invitation. You were always welcome up top. So again, thank y'all. Y'all have a good rest of y'all's night, and we will see y'all on the next episode of the Puzzle Podcast with Eddie and Nicole right here on Instagram and Facebook.